Hello, and welcome to our little Firewatch chat with myself and Matt.
Hello.
Yeah, as you can see, we are in the same place, which is very unusual. Hence why we're doing video rather than just audio content, because we thought we'd mark this momentous occasion with something special. So, as I say, we're going to be talking a little bit about Firewatch. Both of us have recently completed it. It's the first game from Campo Santo, a group of 10 or 11 developers who are all very experienced in the trade, as one would say. Formed by two people who did the original Walking Dead.
Yeah. They worked on the first Telltale Walking Dead game. Sean Vanneman and Jake Rodkin. They also have a long history with adventure games. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, so definitely the right people to kind of push us into this sort of mystery-based game. Just as a quick warning, there will be spoilers during this conversation, obviously, and it's definitely... Given the length of the game, any spoilers kind of ruins the whole thing. So please, if you have not played it and you're going to, do not watch the rest of this video, because it will ruin everything. So first off, what did you think of it, Matt?
I thought it was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed basically all of it, with some small changes to it as far as some triggers that I had troubles with.
Right. Yeah.
It's very... You need to be very specific about certain parts of the game, otherwise it struggles to progress. And I think you ran into a similar issue.
It's just a similar sort of place. For those of you who have played it, and for those of you who haven't and have ignored our advice, the bit where you're in the tent at the research station, there's the bit when you have the wave finder and you're looking for the first kind of black box unit. Both Matt and I had difficulties uncovering the trigger to take the paper off the top of that and allow us to progress that particular situation. So, for the most part, I think it was just to do with like almost the hit boxes of the trigger areas, really, rather than like any sort of massive graphical glitch. I did run into a few bits where I got stuck on invisible walls.
Yeah, I heard reports of a little bit like that. I guess the way that the game is designed is that you need to be very specific. So they're making you. It's sort of like a explorative game. So I guess that's the word, right? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Exploration adventure game.
It is now.
It is now. Yeah. So it's heavily focused on sort of finding your own way in certain parts, and maybe that's where they were going with some of those smaller hitboxes. Like you really need to sift through the
everything.
world, but it can be a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
But we've sort of come off track there. Do you want to explain what the game is and like the setup for it and stuff?
No.
No.
Everyone should have played it, so they should know.
Everyone should have played it by now.
No, I mean we will quickly go over it. Let me just find the blurb so that I can get it right. There we go. So the year is 1989, and you are obviously a man named Henry out in the Wyoming wilderness. Now I got a bit confused about this because I didn't notice the change to Wyoming. So for the first part of it, until they mentioned Wyoming, I did think we were in Colorado.
Because that's where
Henry
from
starts.
Colorado, yeah.
So there was a bit of that, because obviously Colorado is quite mountainy, rocky,
snowy.
It's not snowy all year round.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots of like rocky outcrops and forests and stuff around there. So but yeah, then they mentioned Wyoming, and then I noticed all the Wyoming stuff around the den. But yeah. So he moves to Wyoming to basically be a fire watchman, which is Firewatch person, yeah. Which isn't as cool as it sounds.
No, I guess it's a lot of sitting on your butt and looking for
tower.
flames, looking for smoke.
Yeah, exactly. And he's moved there because obviously his wife, Julia, has early onset Alzheimer's. And so, due to a few different choices that you make at the beginning of the game, which are basically text only, I believe she can she end up in two different places?
I don't know. Where did she end up for you?
In Australia.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Maybe we made similar choices.
Maybe we said
fairly similar.
Who knows?
People,
have to give it another game through and see what it looks like. So because of that and some other difficulties that he had in his life, his wife has ended up in Australia with her parents. She's from Australia. And he's taken up this fire watchman job. a watch person job. He's a man, so I guess he would be a fire watchman. And there he begins talking to his supervisor called Delilah through a little handheld walkie-talkie that you basically keep with you all the time, and has surprisingly good battery life and reception. Surprisingly good. It's almost as if it's not real.
as if it's a fictional video game world, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, that kind of thing. And so basically from those beginnings, and a few simple... I think the quote was always... you go to deal with some unruly teenagers with fireworks, and from there a mystery unveils.
Yeah.
Which is, pretty much, true. I think that kind of everything stems from that kind of sense of conflict you have with the teenagers that then puts you on edge about the motives of some other people in the area, and then that makes you more suspicious, and then that leads into what comes on.
Yeah.
Do you want to go further?
Yeah, I guess as we've already said, you should have already played it. As you track down, Delilah contacts you and tells you that your radio is down. So from there, you go and track down the cabling for the radio, and there's sort of a message left by the teen saying, you creep. This is what we've done. We've cut your radio lines.
Yeah.
So there's no outside.
It's basically
contact.
revenge for. Yeah. So earlier you steal their fireworks and their whiskey.
Did you break their stereo?
No, I didn't.
I threw the stereo in the water.
Ah.
So
no one's messing with Matt in the park. No, I left the stereo where it was because I was enjoying the sick tunes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so you kind of piss them off, and they think that you're spying on them from the forest, and so they take this revenge upon you by breaking the telephone wire. And then all sorts of other stuff starts happening, like your watch post gets broken into.
Yeah.
And things just begin to get weirder and weirder. And the thing that I enjoyed was it felt like it was gonna... I think, we both said it kind of comes across very much like real life. And I think it felt like it was gonna get really weird and sci-fi at one point with all the notes that you were picking up. And it just turns out that it's just one guy and you're a bit paranoid.
Yeah.
Because of the events and because you're living out on your own in the forest and you don't really know anyone or anything out there.
And I guess it's just all about the paranoia getting the better of you.
Yeah.
Knowing what's going on.
Yeah. Were you slightly disappointed by the ending?
To be honest, I thought that's where, as far as, it's pretty bad to say, but indie games tend to stick with that,
bait and switch type thing.
Yeah. For anyone who's played... Have you played Gone Home?
No.
No? Okay. I don't want to spoil it. I won't say anything.
That's okay.
But that sort of stretch into the bizarre and the maybe paranormal or the extraterrestrial or the fantasy zone, and then back into reality, because they're based on real life situations, and stuff like that isn't scientific. It's not real life. So a lot of times you swing out and then straight back in. And I really enjoyed the change, the mystery that was thrown at you, and sort of the pull back into reality by the game's ending.
I mean, I felt like I was definitely in the mindset of Henry during a lot of moments, in the tent when you're looking through all the stuff on the desk, and you've got the barometer and all the earthquake monitor or the lie detector.
Yeah, well, that's...
all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was looking at that, and I kept looking at the tent entrance to see if anyone was coming and stuff, and I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like video games have trained you to be afraid of these certain situations.
Yeah, I mean, we both said that we were both expecting jump scares at some point.
Yeah.
And the thing that made me feel that is because... the animations of climbing up or going down forced your view into a certain direction. Like when you climbed up, you always looked down as you pushed yourself up the ledge. And just from playing things like Fear, the original Fear, climbing up a ladder and then suddenly there's this little creepy girl there or something like that. It puts me into that mindset.
Yeah. I was fully expecting you to look up and there'd be a grizzly bear or something there staring you in the face. Yeah.
But then the one time there is a jump scare where you get sucker punched from when you find the other radio and things are starting to get really weird. I totally didn't expect that at all.
and
you don't actually see anyone.
Yeah, and
it's all done through the animation.
Yeah, and there's no build up for it really.
Yeah,
like there's you'd normally expect some sort of like crescendo in the music or something, like some sort of build up there, but it
just comes sudden. Completely out of the blue.
What did you think of the actual story? Like not the setup for it, but the actual story they chose to run with.
I liked it. I think that it could have done with a little bit more information about the Goodwins. I felt like, I think part of it is probably because Henry didn't have that connection with them, so they didn't form that, whereas obviously it really affected Delilah when he told her that he found the kid's body. So I think that for me, for it to be more impactful, it would have needed a bit more background. I mean, like I think the brilliant move was to have you find, you had to go out to do the kind of roguelike, I need some equipment to access this area type thing, and you go out and you find what's his name? Brian? Is it Brian Goodwin?
Brian, I believe so.
I think it was Brian Goodwin.
Yeah, Dad was Ned.
Yeah. You go out and find Brian's little den with all his like school manuals and Dungeons and Dragons like books and Game Boys and things like that, and that really kind of made him into a more of a character immediately. And then straight after that, you basically discover what happened to him, and I think that was a really, really well kind of placed point to kind of uncover that a bit more about the character. And I like the ambiguousness about whether it was an accident or not. And
we don't know, right?
Yeah, because everything points to it being an accident, but you don't know what frame of mind his dad was in, whether he pushed him into doing something more difficult than he should have been, and so it was an accident, but it was an avoidable one, or that sort of thing. I think it was really well paced, and some elements of it were a little bit unbelievable about quite how well this Ned guy was doing all this, but then he was in the army, I guess. He's used to creeping around and stuff, and
I guess some of it goes down to like how good is his training, like what's his background.
Yeah,
it seemed like they were both able to take apart electronics, like Ned and Brian, right?
Yeah,
both had schematics for like
contraptions
and ham radios and stuff. So it's very possible that maybe they were both, interested in similar things, and maybe it's unfortunate that they didn't use that as common ground.
Yeah. I think it's definitely, it gives you a little snippet into their life, and maybe it's just me that I want to know more about them, but. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed the story. What about you?
I thought it was great. By the end of it, we'd hope you'd be playing this once again. Yeah. You find the body of Brian at the bottom of a ravine, I guess, inside of a cavern.
Yeah, it's kind of like a steep slope.
And he started to decompose. His dad has then gone out and sort of hidden himself away, become a recluse since then. And the thing that I took away from that is more the father's would have been grieving at the time and has gone out, but also Delilah was technically responsible because the kid shouldn't have been there. So I felt her. I felt the way that she felt responsible was a good reaction to that.
Definitely.
And that's sort of how the game ends. Did you meet her? I didn't meet her.
No.
I'm not sure it's possible, right?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think so.
Like, there's only one other human being that you actually see that isn't a black silhouette, which is the helicopter guy at the end for me, I think. So, it's definitely a game about being alone in the wilderness.
Yeah. Cut off, but with communication.
Yeah, exactly.
And it looks amazing as well.
The graphics. We have to talk about the graphics. The lighting and like it's almost like it's kind of like cell shaded, but not.
Yeah, without the shading.
Yeah, it's really like interesting style. It's so beautiful. The lighting is incredible. Like I'm sure there are screenshots around the internet that people are sharing, and there'll be some throughout this video that you'll see down below. But yeah, it's a fantastic looking game. I mean, it's worth it just for that. Sometimes you just sort of want to go for a wander around in the forest. You know, you just potter about and see what you can find. I think you probably spent more time in it than I did, because I think you were trying to get all the books back. Or something. Until you threw one in Pork Pond.
You find novels throughout the game and you can carry them with you, but you can't put them in your inventory or anything like that, so you literally have to carry them in your hand, and you're unable to use the map during that time and stuff because you can only do one at a time. But I was carrying them back to the cabin that Henry stays in and trying to fill up the bookshelf. I got to a point where I woke up one day and all the books were gone.
Oh no!
So I was like, oh, what a waste of time. But, it meant that I investigated a little bit more and sort of searched around. Did you find the burnt out hut?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, there's a few places that you may easily miss, and there's a few caches of goods and things like that that you don't always see, and the game doesn't force you to investigate that stuff. It just sort of leaves it there for you to
I mean, I think I'm quite bad when it comes to sort of investigating games. I generally get caught up in the story, and I know what's happening next. So I kind of, I was still slightly more single-minded than that, and so. But I think definitely I want to do another playthrough, and because it is quite a short game. Yeah. I think my Steam time. Let's have a look.
3 hours?
I have 3 hours, so 3 hours pretty much start to finish. Yeah. Mostly in one sitting.
Really?
I kind of did the first bit, the first intro section, and then I did another section, another big playthrough. But yeah, 3 hours start to finish means that it's quite a good game to kind of replay it and see what other possibilities there are. And then this time I can take my time a bit more and spend more time kind of seeing what's there.
There's always that fear, if you're not quick enough, that you'll read a spoiler.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to finish it in the week it came out, just so I didn't run into any of those.
Yeah. Well, the internet's been pretty good at being spoiler-free recently for fairly big things. Like, Star Wars and Deadpool and such like that. So evidently people are being good about Firewatch. Yeah. What did you feel about the length of it? Did you feel slightly shortchanged? Were you hoping for more, or?
I played 5 or 6 hours of it, which I think is...
Okay, yeah.
That's decent enough for me. I did waste a little bit of time pissing about and looking at things and taking photos, so you can get a little camera in it and take photos and stuff.
Yeah. Which you nicely see developed at the end with the credits.
You can order them as well. Yeah? Yeah, you can order at the end of it, you can put in your email address, and if you go to the main menu of the game, you can order the actual photos to your house.
Cool. I like that.
I plan on doing
but that was quite a nice moment, actually. It just reminded me about the photos when they're coming up, and you kind of see the photos you've taken, and then you reach a point where you found the camera, which is a lovely picture of Henry looking very surprised and startled. And then it kind of carries on going into pictures of the Brian and Ned Goodwin together out in the forest and at the watch post and things like that. And it kind of that helps kind of solidify them as people rather than just kind of plot points.
Yeah, I felt the same way. It was an interesting addition. They didn't need to do that, but it was good to see it.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
So all in all, I think we've covered a fair amount of what we like about the game. If you haven't taken our advice and you haven't played it, and I've still listened to this, then you've just spoiled everything. But go play it anyway. I'm really, really excited to see what Campo Santo do next, actually.
Yeah.
I think that they should hopefully get a lot of acclaim and hopefully money from this. And it should give them a good boost to kind of move into more longer, possibly, adventure games. Yeah. I really like it.
Yeah, I'd like to see more exploration in games rather than, guns and weapons and stuff. I like the fact that there's no offensive in this.
Yeah. It's weird, actually, because, there's no way of defending yourself against anything. So you constantly feel under threat, but in the back of your mind that there can't be any threat because there's nothing you can do. But you still feel it's really well done. So definitely give it a play. I think it's £15 on the Steam store.
I think so.
About the same on PS4 and Xbox One. So yeah, definitely give it a go. I've been Phil. This is Matt. Find us at backwardscompatible.co.uk. I'm on Twitter at _the_quietman. Matt is
at Matt Taylor 138.
cool, and we will see you guys again soon. Bye.
Bye.